You just hit the button.
Just hit the button. Hey,
Damn.
oh, holy mackerel, I just got a tan.
All right, you guys
You
are
gonna dim it?
good to go.
Right.
Live in
Dave.
all fronts.
Yes, and only 17 minutes late.
Ladies and gentlemen, our apologies. We had a bit of a technical difficulty this evening. Welcome to the Team Powerhouse Show, live with you every Tuesday night. And sometimes we have problems.
Sometimes late.
Sometimes we are late, but now we are live and now we're with you. And thank you so much for your patience. Thank you for being part of our show every week. It's Eric Vasquez on your far right, David Lamel here. It's a Team Powerhouse Show and it's Tuesday night. So there's lots to talk about in the real estate market with what's going on. And if you have any questions at all about what's happening in the real estate market, please feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to answer your questions.
Spring is in the air.
The spring, well, it doesn't. Spring is in the air, but so is the ice freezing cold.
Well, we're not getting snow anymore, right?
Where is it? Can you hear everything okay? Oh, good. We are, yeah, it's spring in the air, but cold in the feet. You know, the weather has been pretty harsh from a cold standpoint. And the fact that we keep getting snow isn't making things feel or think any better.
Oh, it's gonna snow tonight.
It's going to snow tonight. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was, what day is today? Monday? Tuesday?
Today's Tuesday.
Today's Tuesday.
What day is
I
tonight? I don't know. The day we do the podcast.
I thought it was supposed to snow on Wednesday or Thursday. Is that even?
Tuesday night, snow. Wednesday night, snow.
Yeah.
Thursday.
We've got more snow this year, and please feel free to mention if you think differently. More snow this year than the last probably 10 years. It's
I
bananas.
wouldn't go that far.
Well, when was the last time it
You,
snowed?
you talk about in accumulation or number of events?
Number of events.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know.
definitely number of. Oh, wait,
That's a question we could have asked our guest last week.
Kevin, CT Weather Dog.
Yeah, the weather dog would have told
The
us.
weather
Maybe-
dog,
Maybe
yeah.
he's watching and he can tell us.
We should hope that maybe
Yeah.
Kevin's out there watching, can definitely help us. As a matter of fact, if you go to the app on the phone over there, I can go on the computer app. Let's see what Kevin's saying about the snow coming, because I'd be curious to find out what he's got for the forecast. Let's see what the
It's kind of hard to say it's the spring market
yeah, it's really
when there's
it really is hard to say.
you get a new
but-
listing come up and it's photographed with snow in front of it.
Yeah, let's see what is Kevin saying over here, the CT with the dog. 10 hours ago, he said, "Good morning, I got away from it. Where the heck am I in the right spot? Holy shnikes. Let's see, doing the right. There we go. There we go. Oh, he changed the screen again. Oh, that's cute. I like that. All right, weather update 4 hours ago. It says over here,
Is that for tonight?
that's for tonight. A lot of weather happening here in the Northeast, according to Kevin from CT Weather Dog. He is saying here that we are going to see flurries, and there's a possibility of coating of 2 inches along the shoreline.
So it's a coating up to 2 inches.
Yeah, and I'm going to read what Kevin's saying over here. A lot of weather happening. I promise I will always update you guys as he always does. And we're looking at a dusting to 2 inches of light snow. Well, the rest will see flurries. Starts around 10 p.m. tonight. We are hearing continuously about rates coming down, which we're excited about, which is going to help the level of inventory also increase. Eric and I have been working with a lot of sellers, talking to them. They're getting their homes ready for sale. So you're going to see an influx of properties come to market over the next 30 days. That's exciting also to know. So buyers, if you're thinking about buying, really start to make sure you're qualified so you can be ready to go.
You get your snow boots ready.
Get your snow boots ready.
Well, you got to walk around the property. So.
That's a good
Yeah.
point. And, regarding inspections during the weather of winter, that can change a lot too. as to what you can and can't do and what you can see and not see sometimes too.
It's hard to inspect the roof when there's snow on it.
Absolutely hard to inspect a roof. Because you don't really see people digging out a septic tank in the wintertime to replace for a new one. So what usually happens in that case is they'll have an allotment of money set in escrow, probably way over what is budgeted expected, so that a septic tank can be replaced if it needs to be in a purchase during the wintertime. Other things to know about during inspections in the winter, Eric, anything you want to add to that?
In the winter,
Yes.
well, one of the things you can't do is check the AC. That's one thing that really kind of
That's a very good point.
Kind of hurts the situation is when you're buying a house, warm air, central air. Well, you only know the warm air works because you ain't gonna find out about the central air until it's 60 degrees for like 3 consecutive days or something like that.
70.
No, I don't think it's that high.
No, see, I thought it was
I
70.
don't think it's that high.
So, but you're right. And also, not only is the heat, well, the good news is you know the heat
laugh
is
at it.
working well. If the heat is working well, you know that you've got a good heating system. Even if it's an older system, you know, he's got this smirking. Something heat. Is anybody out there talking?
Hey,
My mind.
Is your mom out there? Is she communicating with
My
it
mind.
on your mind? Well, let's say hi to your mom anyway. Let's say hi to Jamie and Scott and the family. Sending a big love and hugs to you guys. I'm going to leave it at that if you're watching.
100%.
But going back to the spring market is upon us.
Well, what's the inventory looking like right now? Because it's still kind of low.
Yeah, it's teetering around the
It's a slow
ballpark.
spring.
It's a slow spring. It's teetering around. I just had this open over here. Let's see. It's teetering around 3,100 homes, houses, and condos for sale.
Where?
We've got in Connecticut. I just kept it wide open. I didn't put a county or a city. You've got 669 condos for sale right now in Connecticut. That's higher than it was before. I think it was in the ballpark of 350. So the condo market has definitely picked up, which is great. We need more condos available. And then we've got from a house, actual single family homes, we've got 2432, which is slightly lower. I think we teetered around 2,500 last week. But again, I know a lot of homes just went under contract. That's why that's going on. The market has been very busy for this upcoming year start. A lot of people came out of the gates right away to buy houses because they see a great potential and future in what's going to happen. So let me just give you a scenario so you understand. Be ready to buy. You want to be able to buy as soon as possible. The rates are going to come down, but do not wait for the rates to come down. If you wait for the rates to come down, what's going to happen is you're going to pay more for the house because you're going to have way more buyers in competing for that same home that you're looking for and want to buy.
Or is it marry the house, date the rate?
Marry the house, date the rate. That's exactly right. I'm sure that date is going to be a great rate when she comes along, right? But you can't.
Could be 6 months, could be a year, but a refi,
Absolutely.
refi and getting a better rate, yeah.
Absolutely.
Especially if it's the house of your dreams, so.
Absolutely. And one more thing is that people tend to say, I've heard very often, that I want to wait till my credit gets better before I go and buy a house. And one of the big important things is that if you're able to qualify for a house and you, let's say, have a 650 credit score, if you wait to get to 700 credit score, believe it or not, your rate might change by an eighth of a point at the most, which means that your payment difference might be about, I don't know, 15 or 20 bucks. It does not make any sense whatsoever to try and get your credit score up to get a lower rate, because by the time that happens, the purchase price of the house will be significantly higher, and you do not want to lose on the purchase power. That's the most important thing. Just like the rate, if you can get a credit, if you have credit to buy, you want the opportunity to buy.
No questions?
In addition to that,
Is anybody there?
if you have a shout out, want to do a shout out, a hello, please feel free to do that. Eric and I love to communicate and say hello to our people who are watching.
Yeah, we do.
Jamie Gerla Klein joined. Jamie K55. Mark Ace Vedo. Mark Ace Vedo.
Awesome. Thank you guys for being on Instagram, watching the show tonight. And if you have any questions about anything or just want to say what's up, please, we'd love to hear from
Just
you.
not weather related.
We got JoJo Adler too.
That would've
Jojo
been-
Adler.
That would have been last week.
Yes.
Yes.
Weather related.
They're a week late if they have weather questions.
Yes. So again, going back to the going back to the whole thing about buying a house. Again, very important. Please get yourself with a mortgage broker. If you would like somebody, we'd be happy to share. We've got great mortgage people. The mortgage person is going to get you qualified, whether you're buying it for 3.5%, 5%, 10%, whatever the kind of money you're putting down, the kind of mortgage you're getting, whether it's FHA, conventional. If you qualify for time to own, where
CHAFA.
the government's giving you money, CHAFA giving you money to help you as a first-time buyer, it's important.
Forgivable loan.
Forgivable.
Don't forget it's forgivable.
It is forgivable. We have a client actually who did time to own 2 years ago, and they are actually going to be selling their house in Wolcott. It's going to be a great home coming in the market in the next probably 4 weeks. Very excited about that. They bought 2 years ago. Ready for this? For a purchase price in the ballpark of $250. List price will be in the ballpark of $4.25. Where can you make that kind of money anywhere in any kind of industry outside of hitting the lottery? Buy real estate now. You will make money on your home. The purchase values are going up between 15 and 20% a year. If you own a home and you need to do some work to your house, that's where we, as a team, as a company, as Coldwell Banker, have an amazing program for you. It's called Coldwell Banker Real Vitalize, or Real Vitalize by Coldwell Banker. It's an unbelievable program if you own a home. It allows you to take your home and have any kind of work you need to have done with no money in a pocket. So you become your own flipper. And becoming your own flipper, it makes unbelievable amounts of money for you because, again, you can use the equity in your house to fix your house up, put it in the market. Now it looks like what people want. It's a huge difference. Buyers today, you're a buyer out there, right? And you look at these homes, you see the gray walls, the white trim, the new kitchens, the new bathrooms, the new roof. These are the things you really want inside, right? So I want to buy the house that's all done, and I'm willing to pay the price for it. And sellers out there, you need to know that these buyers out here really want that kind of house all done. They don't want to buy that house for top dollar and then have to fix everything up. So the Real Vitalize program
They
is-
won't pay top dollar if there's work that needs to be done to it. So
and sometimes they do because they have so few properties available in that town they want to be in. I guess it depends where they want to be. We will definitely tell you that there are more homes for sale in the Harford County than there are in New Haven County for sale. Something to think about. Your commute. If you're willing to drive a little longer, you're able to get a much better value of your home for purchase. And that being said, keep your options open. Your first home is not your forever home. It's a place you invest in. You live there for a couple of years. You have, instead of paying rent and spending all this money on rent, which is bananas. What's an average rent today? Would you say, Eric? In most towns, a 2 to 3 bedroom house. What's the rent going for?
$2,000,
$2,000 minimum.
$2,000 to start.
To start, you're looking at $2,000.
Baseline, $2,000.
$2 to $3,000 for a rental. You have an opportunity to own something. Get involved. You know, my father told me way back when, I graduated college, and I had a job, and I was making some decent money back in the day. And he said to me, don't buy a car, buy a condo. And I didn't listen, because I was young. I was 21, 22 years old.
What did you buy?
I ended up buying a car, an Acura CL. It was a nice car, a very sporty, fun car. You know, it was really cool. Except I was living at
How many
home.
beds? How many baths?
Exactly, how many beds? How many beds? It was a mistake. It was if I would have started buying a property when I was younger, I would be in a much better position today. Because you would go into one, then you put your mind to the next one, put your mind to the next one, until you find your resting place that you want to hang out and hang your hat and call it home. But again, if you're younger, you're older, wherever you are in life, typical buyer today now is about, I would say, 30 to 40 first-time buyer. That's the average age for a first-time buyer. If you're younger and you're in a position to buy, God bless, let's go. Do not wait. Take advantage of opportunity. The younger you are, the better you invest, the more money you're going to have in your future, and the better equipped you're going to be. A lot of people are trying to buy these multifamily homes. The multifamily home is not the way to go nowadays. It's very difficult to buy a multifamily. The multifamily homes have gotten very pricey. Used to be you get a multifamily between 250 and 350 for a multi, right?
Even in Waterbury.
Right? Now you can't touch a multifamily under probably $400,000. And at $400,000, if you're lucky, it probably needs a ton of work inside that property. Would you
For
agree?
sure.
Right?
Yeah, on a multifamily?
Yeah.
Almost, in almost all cases, yeah. But I mean, the one of the reasons that the prices have gone so up is because of the rents. You know,
Absolutely.
the profit margin now is much higher for the rents based on the fact that they're up to $2,000, 2,200.
That's right. In addition to that, speaking of multifamilies, we found that a lot of people who've owned multifamilies for a while, the rents are not even as high as they should be taking in, which also causes problems for people who want to buy the property. Because when they bought the property, let's say at 250, and they're getting rents of $1,000 a floor, that doesn't work when they list the property for $400,000 or $500,000. You need to have higher rents coming in so that the mortgage company's going to say this makes sense. A lot of things going on over here, a lot of conversation.
Well, we'll be having a multi-listing soon
Yes.
in Waterbury, so.
Yes, yes. There's a lot of things to talk about. There's a lot of things to learn. It can be a little confusing, but the earlier you start asking questions, the earlier you get involved, the better chances of you being in a better position to buy and have a chance not only to make money, but to own a piece of property. The American dream of home ownership. It's what everybody needs, everybody wants, and you need to get involved and want to get involved so you can become educated and have something to just not have to have rent. You drawing a picture over there?
No,
You making some notes?
no, I was making notes. So Dave bought a car instead of a condo. And then I put bananas.
Bananas. Bananas.
He uses bananas a lot.
I do use bananas a lot. That is facts.
That's bananas.
We got a comment.
We got a comment.
Kevin B.
Kevin Burwell, CT Weather
Hey,
Dog.
fellas, keep up the good work. We have 2 potential snowstorms this weekend and next weekend. Thanks for the shout out on the weather tower.
Absolutely, Kevin. Thank you for keeping us up to date with the weather. I'm going to tell you something. This morning, as a matter of fact, my wife's like, "Oh, I got to turn the news on to see what the weather's like." I go, "No, just open your phone up, go to CT Weather Dog. You'll get what you need." And that's
I'm
it.
doing that.
And it
Right?
might be more accurate.
It will be more accurate, and you get minute to minute what's happening. It's pretty amazing. So like I now turn right to my phone, CT Weather Dog, Facebook, boom. What's the weather going to be like? I love how he updates all the weather and the forecast. I still think that, Kevin, we're going to see little videos of you, maybe doing some kind of like, dancing around a little bit or something fun. Yeah, great stuff. So you want to buy a house? Awesome. Where are you in your progress, in the process, and what's happening in your life around you? What's stopping you from making those decisions? What in life is getting in your way? Luckily, this is the first thing that's getting in your way is getting yourself in touch with a mortgage broker. Learn and find out where you are in the process. Do you have a shot? First of all, do you have a job? Right? And you have a job.
It's going to be the first qualifier right
Right? You
there.
got a job. I love the way. Do you have, like, they call up on the phone or a lead comes through?
You're going to get some poor kid somewhere is going to go, "Hey, Mr. Dave, I have a paper route and I'd like to buy a house."
Dude, I don't even have a paper on it anymore. They don't even exist. But yeah, you need to definitely have a job, and a decent job. Maybe a job you've been at more than a year. And if you just graduated college and you get a job, that works also. By the way, you don't have to have years of history. You can come out of college, have a job, and buy a house, which is pretty cool. And qualifying for the first-time home buyer programs. We have to get a mortgage broker on the show. We haven't had one in a while to do a little conversation about that kind of stuff. One more thing about buying a house. In buying a house, there's something called a 2-1 or a 3-2-1 buy down, which is a great program with the rates right now in the mid-6s ballpark. I was talking to Nick this morning, and you can actually be in the 5s on a 3-2-1 buy down. On a 2-1 buy down, you're in the 5s, which guarantees you that rate for 2 years, and then after 2 years, it comes back to where it is today. But you can also refinance in the 2-year time period should it come down even lower or lock it in. Mm-hmm. So if you're a buyer out there, one of the things you want to think about and ask your mortgage broker is about a 2-1 buy down. That means, for example, let's say you're buying a house for $400,000. We'll do some easy math. $400,000, you're putting down 5% down, that's $20,000. Your closing costs are probably about $12,000. So you're about $32,000 you're in, right? So if you were to put down 10%, your rate might be lower, But if you go to put a 2-1 buy down, it might cost you about five and change, $6,000. So for $38,000, you have a rate of 5.5% roughly, and a 5.5% interest rate is much lower. You might be paying about $300 less in your mortgage payment.
Which factored out over 2 years is going to save you more money than
100%. And
than putting another 5% down.
exactly correct. Someone out there?
Yeah, we got two comments. We got Medium Lisa O'Connor said hello.
Hey, Lisa, thank you so much for the amazing job you did.
And then Kevin said, do you guys think it's a good idea to buy a house or rent in the current market? And he said, first time home.
Kevin, thank you for asking. It is very important to definitely buy.
If you can qualify to buy, yes.
If you can qualify and buy, all day long buying is better than renting. What was the movie that they called it? A Sucker's Bet? Eric, you're good at that kind of stuff.
Oh, I only know the movie if I know the movie.
This is true. Renting is the last resort. You're actually better off living with mom and dad or family than renting. You're literally taking money and letting it on fire. And if you're renting, try and get other people to help you rent so you're paying less money. Get a couple of people to help you pay the rent. You know, get a roommate, get a family member. Maybe they can throw a few bucks in the ring. So it's not coming all out of your pocket. Definitely try and buy. If you bought the cheapest little property in the worst neighborhood, okay? I'm not supposed to say those things out loud, but if you bought the cheapest little property in the worst neighborhood, in 2 years you have more value in that property, and you can sell that property for more than you bought it for, than what you're going to pay in rent, and there's tax breaks. You have nothing you can do with tax breaks whatsoever when you rent. Bananas.
That's bananas.
It's bananas. So definitely rent. I'm sorry, definitely rent. Definitely buy. Definitely buy. Do not rent.
Freudian slip.
Freudian slip. A lot of different areas in the state of Connecticut have more regional property prices than others. And again, use the opportunity. People, I don't want to drive more than 30 minutes to work. Well, 30 minutes is a luxury. I would say the average person driving to work is between 45 minutes and an hour. And here's what the beautiful part about that is. That's your downtime. That's your music time. That's your podcast time. That's your time to kind of, your me time. Because when you get home, you know what happened to you get home. It's this question and that question. What do you have to do and eating and There are a lot of things happen to get home. So the chance for you to have some downtime to yourself is to commute home. We drive all the time. We're in the car, we're driving all the time. And when I'm in the car, if I'm not on the phone, I'm listening to music, right? I like to listen to Sirius Radio and listen to comedians. I love cracking up. That's my favorite thing to do is laugh. I love to laugh. Get on to a podcast. What is that? The average commute time is, I was exactly right, 26.4 minutes. So Eric just showed me something. The average commute time is about 26.4 minutes, so 30 minutes.
I mean, that's an average.
Yeah.
So there are people who are 10 minutes away from work, and there are people who are 50 minutes away from work.
That's exactly right. But the majority of people are getting to understand that being farther away from work is more common. It's actually healthier. You're probably going to come home in a better mood if you have more time to spend in the car. Because if you've had a rough day and you come home and you're not in a great mood,
Decompress.
that's right. You're more likely to have a fight with your spouse.
Unless the music sucked on the way home, or unless you listened to a podcast that was just all bad news.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Good point. Try not to listen to maybe the news on the way home that might upset you or frustrate you. Listen to something enjoyable, something that takes your mind off things. Again, I love listening to comedy, whether it's the stations on Sirius Radio or even on Facebook. They have a station where all the comedy is.
Yep.
You're
Daniel Lamel
hey, buddy.
I know that name.
said, can you be my roommate?
Danny, I would be your roommate forever, buddy.
And he said, Dad, we would have so much fun with exclamation points.
We would definitely. That's the greatest. That's the greatest compliment. My son's saying to me, I'd be the greatest roommate, and that is a fact. We would have so much fun. Get to be a roommate with your son. Maybe that's an opportunity for yourself too, especially if they have a job, and you could put money together. You know, I love it. I love the idea. Great idea, Danny. Except your mom may not, or your mom might just say go for it. Actually. But yes, definitely, it's a great place to be if you can rent. If you're renting to get a roommate, so you're not paying all the money out of pocket. But if not, try and buy. Try and get qualified. Try and learn and understand what it's part about buying a house or a condo.
Yeah,
Or anything
and
else.
for a lot of people, you're gonna have to rent to start. You know.
Back in the day, renting to start was normal because rent was like $400.
Yeah.
I remember my first place. I finished college. I was in my parents' house, who I love very much. But my mom was upset because my room was always a mess. And she's like, all right, you got to go find a place to live. And she said it kind of sarcastically. And that day I went to the gym and saw a girl from high school. And we started talking. They said they're looking for a roommate. I came back home and told my mom that I just found a place to live. She was like, what do you mean? You just went to the gym, you know? And then I said, I found a place to live. It was $400 a month to rent. I was making $500 a week. I paid $400 a month for rent. I was doing really well. I lived with 2 girls. It was like Three's Company. It was awesome. Very, very cool stuff.
We'll leave it at that.
It was all platonic stuff, but they were awesome, and we made a lot of fun. You know, we had a house to ourselves, and you had a yard and the whole thing. But that was $1,200 for rent for the month. That's in 1998. 1997, 1998. Wow.
It was a house.
It was a house on Mayor Avenue in
Owned
Hamden.
by Mr. Roper or no?
Yeah, no. It was a single. It was a single. No, that was a 2-family house. The Three's Company, the one up and down. You know, you never thought about that, did you?
It wasn't a 2-family house.
Yeah, because there were upstairs and downstairs.
No. I think it was a condo complex, but I think it was more like a complex.
Was it a condo complex?
I think so. Yeah.
'Cause I thought it
Because
was-
remember, Larry lived there too.
Larry lived in the. Oh, you're right.
Yes.
Maybe it was a condo complex. Good job, Eric.
Google. Go ahead.
Eric's gonna look into to find out if Three's Company was in a condo complex or not. That's a great question. Great show, by the way. So anyway, again, back in the day, renting a property was way different. I just spit. Renting a property was way different than it was to be. You go to rent because that was very cheap to rent back in the day. But today, it's just crazy. Half your paycheck might be renting. You cannot survive if half your paycheck's on a rent or more than that. And when you in the sitcom Three's Company, the main characters lived in an apartment complex in Santa Monica, California. So it was an apartment complex, but like complex was owned by Stanley and Helen.
Roper.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
What Mr. Furley though?
Mr. Furley.
Yeah,
He's the one that took over after the Ropers left.
that's right.
When the Ropers moved to Florida or something like
That's
that.
right.
Yeah.
What a great
It
show.
was Don Knotts.
Don Knotts. That was a great show. I just have flashbacks. Can you see that show thing? No. It's a funny, great show.
Three's Company. You wouldn't enjoy it.
Why not?
Because the humor is different from
It's
what
definitely-
they laugh at today.
That's
Yeah, but I
right.
don't laugh at that stuff most of the time.
Yeah, it definitely was a great show. If you saw Three's Company growing up, let us know. You're not alone.
We're approaching 30 already.
Yeah?
Yeah.
2751.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Pretty good job, huh?
Pretty good for a late start.
I want to apologize to you all for the late start on our podcast. We ran into some technical difficulties, but we were able to come together as a team and make it happen. We had
No.
some.
You found a cord to charge the computer that kind of is the nucleus of the entire podcast.
We had a little problem with the.
Well, we could have still done it, but just not done Facebook Live. We could have done Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah.
Well, it would have been no Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, both Facebooks. So.
We would have also not been on Rumble and
No
Spotify.
Twitch.
Spotify is.
That would have been tough.
Okay. Anyway, so all that being said, that's the market update for you guys. So listen, Real Vitalized by Coldwell Banker. Google it, understand it, give us a call. We would love to talk to you about it. It's an unbelievable program for you guys as sellers. Okay. Second thing is buying a house. Start to get in touch with us or your realtor, whoever they are. We'd love to work for you, but if you have somebody, we respect that. Get in touch with them. Tell them you need to get qualified. You want to begin the search process. That doesn't mean searching on the websites. Do not search on any websites when you want to start buying a house. First, get qualified. Once you're qualified, at that point, then begin looking at websites. If you're on websites looking at property and you can't buy, that's like putting candy right in front of Eric and then taking it away from him. And,
Candy.
you know, Eric likes his candy. So, all right, let's go to the next part of the show where we give out a free tumbler to a lucky guest. Lucky person watching the show.
You're all messed up today.
I'm also thirsty. I've got to get water for ourselves over
We
here.
forgot the waters, the coasters. Yeah.
So good.
I talk a lot. I need to drink some water. Hopefully Valerie's making a special dinner tonight. I know Drew had some.
Serves it with water.
Yeah, serves it with water. Exactly.
Maybe it'll be bread.
Drew had swimming lessons today. So
She had what lessons?
swimming lessons.
Swimming.
Yes.
Gotcha.
By the way, your granddaughter would love it. The Cheshire Pool. It's awesome.
Nancy Wilson on Instagram.
Nancy Wilson from Heart?
Wilson from Instagram.
Okay.
You know Nancy?
No.
Nancy Wilson from Instagram. Thank you so much for being part of our show, and congratulations on a free tumbler. Please get in touch with us so we can get that tumbler out to you. Again, if you want to be able to win a tumbler, please let us know so we can get you on the spinning wheel and a chance to win. Anybody else with a question at all? All right. We want to wish you guys a wonderful evening, and we'll see you next week.